one thing that we did not address much in the conversation, because we summarized, we covered a lot of topics, but one thing which is, how would we link the UFO phenomena with the jinn, very briefly, because I know brother Imran has a very brilliant article on it, and I've linked it in the description, inshallah. But can you very briefly give us some reasons why the UFO that we see now is linked to the jinn, or seems to be linked to the jinn?
For sure. So yeah, just to give you summary evidences, the jinn fly. These creatures, or this technology flies. The jinn are able to transport in an instant fashion from one area to another. These craft exhibit the same qualities. These things talk to you inside your mind. They can, what people describe as psychic telecommunications. The jinn whisper inside the mind of people. The jinn, these creatures, what the non-Muslims have described it as a hitchhiker effect, meaning they can follow you around, almost like follow you to your home. The jinn can come in your home and follow you around, and they can become attached to people. These things come in different forms, so they sometimes look like bugs, sometimes look like wolves or dogs, huge dog-like creatures. And the Prophet said that the jinn come in different forms: snakes, dogs. Sheikh al-Islam mentions birds and human beings. So they come in the form of human beings. They seem to exist in a place where we can't see them. So then some of them have described them as ultra terrestrials, or ET and so on. And the jinn, they live in a place we can't see them, and they visit us they come to this, and they let's say manifest themselves on this world in different ways. The people who talk about this topic, and like Jacques Vallée and such, they say that they're historical. They've been here for a long time, and this modern manifestation of a techno creature is just a version that they're coming in. And we know that Iblis is ancient, prior to mankind, has been coming and affecting mankind for many years. They've affected previous nations of mankind who was misled by the devil, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran. So we have historical proof from that side that they've affected mankind, and we have in the jinn that they are also historical and have affected mankind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls them builders, and we know that these creatures that the non-Muslims talk about, these UFOs, they build technologies, very advanced technologies, more advanced than what we're able to build. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls them divers. Okay, and these creatures have been witnessed, these craft go into the ocean and come out of the ocean. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the jinn traverse different aspects of the heavens and earth. And we know that these things have been filmed going into space, coming into this aerospace, flying around the earth, and diving into the ocean. So this is a transmedium craft, and this is what they're described as in Quran, being able to travel to different places. They are fire beings, and oftentimes these things that are spotted in the sky, they're like balls of fire. That's a fireball flying around in the sky. So there's so much to say that what they're experiencing and what they're describing, and their attention to the more sensitive sites like nuclear facilities and so on and so forth, these creatures seem to have interest in them. Likewise, we have the jinn are interested in power and areas and places of decision. You find that when the Quraysh convened to discuss the murdering and killing and assassination of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Iblis was in that meeting. So in places of decision and power, you find these creatures, and you will also find that the jinn like to be in these places of power and decision making and so on and so forth. So there's quite a few. They encourage, when they approach people, they try to come in the form of angels, and we know that the angels say that it's the jinn who are blamed for coming in the form of angels. So this is another evidence to say that whatever these creatures are, they match exactly what is described about the jinn in the Quran.
And then we have these
they-
abductions. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
Go.
I was going to say they also, it says, we mentioned earlier in the Quran, that there are allies among mankind that work with them. It's long been suggested that America has made a pact or in an agreement or some sort of, agreement with these non-human intelligence that dates back. And this is one of the rumors that has been ongoing for 60, 70 years. People have made this claim that America is in a pact with these creatures and that there's some sort of exchange of information. Some have said that human beings are given willingly over to them in exchange for technology. This has been a claim that's very old. It's not like someone just said it last week, but whistleblowers going back 60 years have made this claim. So with all that in mind, and the fact that Sheikh al-Islam mentions that device that was glass liquid over a shiny smooth glass over a liquid where you could see one another, talk to them, ask it questions and see people, almost like a CCTV type thing. It matches what we mentioned earlier about Colonel Corso saying that modern technology is derived from the technology that was crash landed. So there's so many areas where it matches exactly with what the shaitan and the jinn are, that it's almost like you've got to bring evidence now to prove that it's not the jinn, because it's such an overwhelmingly it matches in every way with the jinn, and it's the best hypothesis I have. Yeah.
Wow. So, and there's one more regarding abductions, which we we see so many stories about abductions happening, and that is also something that is connected to the jinn.
SubhanAllah. Yeah, I forgot and you remembered, mashallah.
So, mashallah. So there's one saying which you might know: if something looks like a duck, walks like a duck, and quacks like a duck, then it is a duck. So I think this applies here. Is when we are talking about the UFO, even though Allah knows best, we are not saying we're 100% certain about it. It could be extraterrestrial beings also, and that is not a problem for Islam. It could also be all fake, and that is also not a problem for Islam. Even though, but the inference to the best explanation when we apply in this scenario, it makes sense that these are jinns, and that is what we can conclude here.
Also, I want to admit another one I forgot, which we mentioned earlier. It was about memory loss. The shaitan being involved with memory loss, and these vehicles and people, when they come into contact with these things, they forget everything. So there's, like you said, and we've said it before, if it walks like a duck, talks like, quacks like a duck, swims like a duck, floats like a duck, it's a duck, unless someone can prove otherwise. Like, I, as a Muslim, how I view the world is through the lens of Islam. And Islam has given me no reason to think that it's anything other than the absolute truth about everything. So when I view this topic through the lens of a Muslim and with the understanding I have of Quran and Sunnah, I see that this topic identically matches what we have narrated to us from Allah and the Messenger ﷺ about the jinn. So I don't have a big issue in saying that this is the jinn over here. Now, this doesn't pertain to Aqidah where, if I believe that it's a jinn phenomena, that somehow I'm going to go to hell for that, because it matches. And all I'm going to be asked about is what I know. And what I can see is that this phenomena, even though we can't be 100% sure, but it matches so well that the best explanation we have is the jinn. And unless something comes along that is otherwise or brings us evidence or proof that it's not that, then we can adjust and reevaluate at that point. But right now everything matches with them, and that they are a creature that inhabit this earth and affect us on a daily basis. So we don't have a big issue. Like, it's not, if anything, it's not new to us as Muslims. It's new for them. It's new and novel for them. And that's where the dawah gets important, because a lot of people are finding out about this topic and they're listening to the new age people and the new age understanding, and they don't realize how historical this thing is. Ufology is a new topic that's investigating something that's very old. That's where Islam comes in. It links it back throughout the ages of mankind and gives it its truth. Like, this may be a new iteration of it, but it's just one of the long lines of plans of Iblis against mankind. That's all it is.